Hello, third time lucky. Hopefully. So I don't know who's here, who's not here, who's managed to come in, who's left me, who's lost me. I don't know anymore. I'm just going to have a drink and have a lie down, I think. Maybe somebody will join me eventually. I shall just sit here. Hi, Nathan. Not having much fun today. The first time I did the video, it didn't go public. So I was talking to myself. The second time I did the video, the power cut out and I went off. It came back on, but I didn't have a camera. So this is my third time looking. Hi, Nathan. Hi, Chris. So everybody else who wanted to join me, they're probably still on the other channel waiting for me to come back, but I can't, can I? Oh, dear. Hi, Esther. Yes, has it been raining today? I don't know. I've not been out. We just keep getting power cuts, so I just had a power cut before, which is why I had to go off, because I came back on, but there was no camera. So I thought, oh, this is brilliant. Yeah. So, I'm not very... Well, hello again, Diane. Yeah. I didn't mean to go off in the first place, but... oh, that's good. That's good. I bet everybody's wondering where I've gone. It's been fun. Christmas Eve. No, it wasn't Christmas Eve. I tell a lie. New Year's Eve. Waiting for the new year to chime. Drink in my hand. As you know, I don't really drink, but I had a drink in my hand. I thought, toast the new year. Toasted the new year. Boom. Just got the new year in. Lights all went out. So I tottered my way over to the curtains thinking, the street lamps will be on. The light of the moon, I'll be able to see something. But no, nothing. Nothing at all. So I thought, this is brilliant. Gets me phone. My phone is, sort of powered by gas, so it didn't even have a torch on it. So I fumbled my way into the kitchen and I thought, brainwave, we've got a little Christmas tree in the kitchen with a battery-operated little lights. Very small, glowy lights, but little lights. So I'm walking round Christmas Day with the light of a Christmas tree in my hand, walking round, thinking, well, at least I can make a drink. We've got a gas hob. Goes in the kitchen with my Christmas tree, puts my Christmas tree down. Comes to turn the gas on, of course, it's an automatic pilot. It wouldn't light, yeah. Gets the Christmas tree, comes back in here to find some matches, lighter. So back in the kitchen again, made myself a brew. Came back in here with the Christmas tree yet again and thought, what the heck am I going to do? Can't go to bed because, as you know, I need a breathing machine to stay alive. So, it was go to bed and die or stay awake and, breathe. So I decided to stay awake and breathe. Anyway, I looked on the phone and they said it'd be coming back on about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I thought, oh, that's brilliant. Good start to New Year. So anyway, about 4 o'clock, the lights came on. So I thought, great. I'm going to bed while I can still put the mask on, yeah. Off for toddles to bed. Just sitting on the end of the bed to get my machine. Boom, lights went off yet again. I thought, oh, God, this is brilliant. Anyway, luckily they only stayed off about half an hour that time. So then they came back on. So I thought, right, I'll get in bed, take a chance, put the breathing machine on, take a chance. Anyway, it must have stayed on because I wake up when the mask goes off. So I got up in the morning, went into the kitchen to make myself some breakfast. Boom, lights off again. I thought, oh, flipping it, power off again. So, well, the freezer would be shut. So as long as it was stayed shut, it would have been all right, yeah. So anyway, it came back on. My son and daughter-in-law came back home because they'd been out for Christmas, New Year's Eve. And I said, there's been a power cut. And they said, oh, yes, so we believe, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I do have a neck light, but I couldn't find it, Diane. Anyway, it's a bit pathetic, so yeah. So they said, oh, dear, did it go off? And I went, yeah. So the New Year's Day, gets into bed New Year's Day, went to sleep. I woke up choking. Blooming electric had gone off again in the middle of the night. Anyway, I've now got a generator in the street next door next to the power station is now a generator. So we're on generator power over here at the moment. People are complaining because they're not cooking, the tea isn't cooking properly on the electric stoves, yeah. So anyway, I bought myself a torch. My son was laughing at me because it's a torch and a half, you know, it's a torch. It's like light up the street torch, yeah. Anyway, today our tap's been leaking in the kitchen, and so we bought a new tap. And my son was fiddling about trying to get it to work, and he comes in and said, "Can I borrow your new torch?" I thought, after he laughed at me for buying such a big torch, he then came to borrow it, and I thought, you want to borrow it now, do you? After you laughed at me for buying such a big torch. Anyway, I've now got a torch, so touch wood, probably won't go off again, but it just went off then. I just put everything on and it went off. Yeah, I should have handed him the Christmas tree, except they put it away now. So I no longer have the Christmas tree. Yeah. Oh, it was fun. Not funny at all. But my friend who has MS, she was like watching the new year coming in like I do, but a recliner was out extended. So the poor girl was stuck because she hasn't got the use of her legs anymore. So she couldn't get off the recliner. So she was stuck on the recliner until the electric came back on. I mean, she had her family there, but they couldn't really hoist her off the recliner, could they, you know? They don't think about these things, do they? You know, I mean, it's not their fault they turned it. Well, they didn't turn it off. It was the weather that affected the substation because we had such dreadful, dreadful weather. But we had the one, you know, she came on our local chat. You always get the, how can I put it? The doomsday theory that said it was all planned and it was all done on purpose. And, you know, they were all taking the mickey out of saying, yeah, Rishi Sunak's got a button by the side of the bed saying, yeah, we'll turn Fleetwood off now, you know. She was, you know, she didn't seem to realise they were taking the mick out of her, you know. She was just wandering around, you know, coming out with these stupid theories, you know. No, I wasn't stuck on a stair lift, thank goodness for that. Could have been worse, couldn't it? But you always get one. And somebody had said to her, well, did you not see it on BBC News that people were expecting, you know, having power cuts? And she goes, I don't watch the BBC. It's all lies. I thought, oh, hello. We've got one of those people on here, have we? A doomsday prepper. Good evening, Connie. If I disappear, it's my power cuts. So, you know, if I suddenly go poof and I've gone in a puff of smoke, it'll not be a genie. It'll be a power cut. Yeah. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that all stays on. It's been fun. You know, they say start the new year off as you mean to go on, don't they? Hi, Jill. How you doing? So I'm hoping that's not the way the new year's going to start off, with power cuts. Yeah. As we say, it could have been worse. You could have been stuck in a lift, or you could have been stuck somewhere. Can you imagine if you had a lift in your house, if you were disabled and you got halfway up? Halfway up? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you would need a backup generator. Can you imagine? I mean, not many people have got backup generators, do they? Funny enough, we were talking about this because I was speaking to my cousin, who I've not spoken to for many, many years, on the phone the other day. And I was talking about when I lived in Wales with my auntie and my mum and dad. And they had a generator, you know, because we were the only people in the village who actually had any power. Everybody else had oil lamps and candles. Yeah? We were the only ones who actually had any power. We had a generator. Yeah, can you imagine? I mean, my friend was bad enough. My friend with MS getting stuck on her recliner and she couldn't get off because she can't use her legs, so she couldn't do anything. And short of her family, like, hoisting her off it in a very undignified manner. So she chose to stay there until, hoping that the power would come back on. It was off for about 4 hours, I think. So, But as for me, you see, I had to stay awake because I can't go to sleep in case I don't wake up. You know, it's that drastic with me, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was great. It was great, Trisha. It was great. What am I working on today? I'm working on a sweater that I don't have enough wool for, yarn for. So I'm having to do jiggery pokery. So I've had to put some purple at the bottom end of it. So I've done that much of it. I started it last week. I've done that much of it. And I've done a sleeve and a bit. And so I'm going to have to, I'll be like Leslie on not quite enough yarn. Yeah. I'll be having to work in. So I ordered some more of this because I didn't have enough of this. So I ordered 2 more of this. So I'll have to work this in somehow or another. So it may finish up with stripes at the top, yeah. Yeah, I started it last week, you know, thinking, oh yeah, 500 gram be plenty. No. You know, that's the trouble when you're trying to use wool up out of your stash and stuff. If it's wool you've had forever and a day, it's obviously discontinued, isn't it? So you can't get any more. I did look online to see if I could find another ball of it, and I did find one. But they wanted £27 for one ball, plus the postage. So I thought, no, I shall just have it in 2 colours. Oh dear. It'll be wearable of kind, won't it? Wearable of sorts, yeah. I thought, well, I'll do the sleeves because I wanted the sleeves all in one colour. But when I'm on here tonight, I can't concentrate on shaping. I can show you a sleeve. I've got shaping on it, you see. You see, I've done one sleeve, so it's got shaping on it. And knowing me, of course, I haven't written anything down because I never do. Yeah, never do. So I've got halfway up the other sleeve and I thought I cannot concentrate on increasing and talking to everybody. So I was nearly rude then. I nearly said, you lot. Not very nice, Janet. Not very nice. Anyway. So you nearly didn't get me today because I was that busy chatting to my friend online. Chitter-chatter, chitter-chatter. In my dressing gown because I hadn't even had a shower. And then I said, oh my goodness, I've got to go and get a shower. I've got to go. Otherwise you'd have seen me in my nightie. Hey, not a pretty sight. Not a pretty sight when I'm not in my nightie, but even worse sight when I'm in my nightie, yeah. Hey dear. Anyway, I'm going across the first row, which I don't like doing the first row, yeah. Well, whoever I've missed saying hello to, I'll say hello to. If you've all come in on the quiet, and man, I've missed you. Because I've been busy waffling on about my power cut, yeah. And all things, yeah. It's been great. So I hope you've all had a good New Year so far. Better than my New Year so far. I hope you've all had power and heat and everything. And my friend that I was talking to today, she is practically living with the plumber because her heating keeps going off. She needs to get a new boiler, I've decided. It's not going to work. Keep having it repaired is not working for her. She needs to get a new boiler. But, you know, it's expensive, isn't it? Especially after New Year. And I've just arranged to get the chimney swept. They're coming in. No, they're not scheduled interrupts, although they're talking about them next, which is why that lady that had the theories said it was all, you know what they're like, some of these people. It's all conspiracies and stuff like that, you know. It's so funny, like, you know, you get these memos, don't you, saying the electrics and the gas going to go up in price next year, or this year, I should say. But then we get power cuts. It's like, that's right, rub it in, you know, rub it in. Yeah, they had the weather or something. We've had really high winds and really bad weather. And they said something's happened to the substation. The substation, actually, I can practically see it. It's just across the roadway. Anyway, they've now got a great big generator outside of it. So hopefully, unless the generator packs in, hopefully we should be okay here. But our little area, just this little local area, has been hit more than the rest of Fleetwood because it's been our substation. I think they said it was so many hundred houses it affected, but it's just all this area. So keep your fingers crossed that I stay on. If I go poof, bit of puff of smoke, you know I've gone. You're ready for a good year. I'm ready for one that's better than last. It's not been a good one. Not for me so much personally, but my sort of family, or my mum's family. I have lost so many cousins and cousins' wives, and you think me electric flowers. I've only just switched them on, so I don't think it's that much again. Yeah, I've lost so many cousins or cousins' wives this last year. It's like, oh, whatever next, you know, you hear another news and you think, oh, what do they want to get? What, they're telling me somebody else has died or something, and I'm like, oh, please, nobody else. But they're all a bit older than me, the ones who've popped the clogs, you know. But I mean, like, I'm 78, I'm getting a bit close. I'm feeling okay at the minute. But, well, apart from my stomach issues, but that's by the by, that's just normal for me. But it's a question of keep going, you fool, isn't it? Yeah, keep going. You know, your heart keeps ticking, keep going. I always say whenever I feel like having a good whinge, you know, and a good moan, we all have them, don't we? Come on, let's be honest. You all have a good whinge. I always think there's so many people worse off than you, Janet, so stop it. You know, stop having a whinge. Don't go down the self-pity party because nobody wants to know, you know. Yeah. You know, I've got friends that are battling cancer at the moment, you know, they've got no hair at the minute, and I'm bothered about having thin hair. And I'm like, oh, shut up, Janet, you've got hair, you know. It might be a bit sparse, but at least you're not like the ones who've lost theirs, yeah. So you have to think about things like that. I try to be positive. I don't know about you. I try to think positive rather than negative. You know, if I'm feeling a bit whingy, I'm feeling a bit woe is me, why me, blah, 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 like we all do at times, I try to stop and think, stop it, you know. All right, we didn't have light, but I could make a drink because I had a gas hob. You know, things like that. You have to think something positive, don't you? Yeah. You waited on your turn to get out of here. Yeah. Oh, you do get negative thoughts in the middle of the night. I'm not disputing that, Lydia. Things always seem worse, don't they? Especially this last week or so. For some unknown reason, I am not getting to sleep until about 4 and 5 in the morning. I don't really have any worries. I don't really have anything that is bothering me. But you find things to think about, like you say, Lydia, in the middle of the night, you think about things, don't you? All the what-ifs come in your brain, don't they, that not there during the day. So I'm falling asleep about 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning. So consequently, I'm not waking up till lunchtime. And then I get cross with myself because I had planned to do so much. I'd planned to make videos, planned to go in the shed, tidy up, you know, planned to start painting the doll's house, stuff like that. But when half the day's gone, and then today I started talking to my friends, so I was still in my nightie. Yeah. Your ex passed. Oh dear. Yeah. Yeah, there's always things we want to. I've been challenged to do 24 goals in 2024. I was challenged by Tracy, you know, Crochet Rocks. I was going to do that. I haven't done it. What your 24 goals are in 24, yeah. So I was thinking of doing that, but I don't know whether anybody else is doing it. I'll challenge anybody else. Anybody who does a video, I can challenge them to do it. I could challenge you, Jill, to do one. Anybody else who does a video, I could challenge them to do one. It's 24 goals for 2024. So anybody wants to take up on that? You choose a word, do you know? I've been challenged to choose to do the 24 goals for 2024. Yeah. Yeah, it's always tough, isn't it? I mean, my ex-husband's lost 2 grandsons, young teenagers, last year. One to meningitis and one to leukemia. 17 and 21, I think. This year I'm thinking reinvent. That's my word for this year. Reinvent what I'm doing, what I'm crocheting, what I'm doing to promote myself. I'm thinking of reinvent. That's my word for today, this year. What's anybody else's word for this year? Jill's chosen create. I've chosen reinvent. What's anybody else's word? Hang in there, you want. That's like, technically that's 3 words. But you can't say hang or in or there, can you really? You could blur it all together, couldn't you? Say hanging in there, yeah. Phoenix, you want to be a phoenix and rise from the ashes, do you, Chris? Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit like I want to reinvent myself. Well, I can't reinvent myself, you know what I mean? But reinvent the way I portray myself, perhaps, yeah. Oh dear. We've not been having a good time of it, have we, people? People losing people. I've lost 4 cousins. My ex-husband's lost 2 grandsons. Everybody out there's losing fathers, brothers. Oh, what is that? Why is it always worse at certain times of year? Oh, that's good, Jill. Bit of good news. Way, bit of good news, yeah. Why does it always seem 10 times worse when you lose people at Christmas or New Year? It's the same, isn't it, really, when you lose somebody, but it feels much worse when it's a celebration. It like puts the dampers on Christmas and New Year for years to come, doesn't it? You know, when you sort of associate a time of year with a certain thing. And it's just not, yeah. It's just kind of whatever, yeah. I've only got one, so it's just hard luck if I fall out with him, isn't it, Jill? I live with him. Hiya, Lizzie. How are you? Yeah, I had a lovely phone call yesterday from my cousin George, who I've not spoken to for about 30, 40 years. And that was so lovely to reconnect with him. I mean, we never fell out or anything. It's just that my mum's family was such a big family that you kind of lose touch with cousins, yeah. Oh, it's hard, only me. I mean, my dad had dementia, so it was kind of expected. And also, my brother had cancer, so it was kind of expected, but it's still hard. You cannot prepare yourself for it, no matter how much you try. You can't. It's, it's something that I don't care how you say, oh, well, we were prepared for him to go. I mean, my brother, we knew he would go because he had cancer, but you're still not prepared. You're still not ready, for them to suddenly go. Yeah. I mean, my brother actually had a heart attack at the end, even though we were expecting him to die with the cancer. In a way, I'm glad because he went so suddenly, yeah. Well, they keep threatening us with snow and ice, but we haven't had any here because I think what it is we're so close to the sea and the salt that I don't think it would stick, the snow. You know what I mean? Right, let me count how many fans I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 and 2 bits at either end, yeah. I call them fans, they're really shells, aren't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, guess what? Got 14. I stopped at the right time. You glad you got snow? We very seldom get snow. We had a little sprinkling of snow one year, and everybody here is going, snow, snow, like you'd never seen snow before. And I put a picture on Facebook. It was one of my memories from about 14 years ago of my street, my old street in the snow. It looked so pretty. It always did, but then I lived on a hill, so it was a nightmare because I just was stuck in. But I think I've mentioned before, I had the most fantastic neighbours, and they were really, really good with me. And they would knock on the window to see if I needed any bread or milk or anything because they were going up to the village. Yeah. They were really, really good with me. But I was a bit of a prepper. I mean, family here don't do it, sadly, but I was always a bit of a prepper. I always had a loaf in the freezer and I always had long life milk in the pantry. Yeah. So I was always, and I was got lots of tins. You know, everybody used to laugh at me saying, you know, you could be snowed in for 2 months, Janet, and you wouldn't starve. But that was the way I was, yeah. He started into an ab fit night before surgery. Oh dear. What were you doing your exercises before you had the surgery? I keep thinking I might start that armchair yoga or something. Yeah, I always was prepared. I always had enough. You turned your brain off, did you then? I wish they would turn my brain off when I'm trying to get to sleep. Why is it my brain goes in overdrive? The minute I put my head on the pillow, I can be as tired as anything and I can be sitting in the chair watching the TV, dozing, thinking, right, I'm going to bed now. I'm going to bed. I'm really tired. I'm going to bed. Get in bed. It's like, ding, wide awake, ding. And you start, think nice things, count down, count sheep, count whatever. Yeah. Put the music on. Do this, do that. No. Once I get in bed, wide awake. I wish I could get to sleep when I get in bed. I want to sleep at the wrong time of the day. I'm asleep until it was about 12:30 when I got up this morning. And the only reason I got up then was because the dogs were barking. Yeah. They'd gone out for an hour, gone shopping or somewhere or other, and so the dogs woke me up barking. Otherwise I could still be there now. So by the time I'd had my, well, I can't call it breakfast. It was more like mid-afternoon lunch. So then today they were going to the Chinese for something to eat. I said, I only want some soup. I didn't want anything. I'm not eating, as you know. I don't know why I'm not losing weight, but I'm not eating. So anyway, so I'm doing my crochet. Yeah, I do that. I fall asleep at the movie. Yeah. I listen to stories and then I fall asleep with the story on. And then I wake up like that and run into the next story and it woke me up. And I'm like, what the heck's this? Because I'd gone to sleep with one story and then I wake up with another story. And I'm the same with music. I'll fall asleep to to music, and then it suddenly goes into because I have a Kindle. You're listening to like whatever. Well, they're not LPs now, are they? And then you wake up because there's a commercial comes on, and it's always 10 times louder than the music, isn't it? Yeah. I haven't got a radio in my bedroom. I could do with doing something. I've been trying to get my son to sort out. I've got a lovely clock radio that's a SAD light. Brought it with me from my other house. Lost the instruction box in the meantime. I can't alter the time on it. I can't alter anything. You used to be able to wake up to birds twittering, and it was lovely. And the light used to come on gradually. It didn't come on like that. It came on gradually like that. He can't get it to work. He can't sort it out either. And we can't sort it. I've tried looking it up, but there's no brand name on it. I don't know where I got it from. No brand name. So I tried to look online, but I can't. There's no brand name on the actual clock. So I've tried like looking for ones that look similar to it, but they're all different. So I don't know. It's upstairs at the moment. Irene and Trish have been fiddling with it, trying to get it to come on. So I would love that. I would love to wake up with like birds twittering and a light coming on to, because I have SAD. It would be nice to wake up with a nice light. And you could also go to bed as well. You could set the timer, like for the radio, like you said. You could set the timer for the radio and also a light that was like a red light, or you could have a blue or green, whatever. And it would dim down slowly, like as the time ticked on. So by the time the radio had turned off, the light had switched itself off, and by then you should be asleep. But I can't find the manual. Yeah, there might be. Except it isn't a battery one, it's a plug-in, yeah. I do that sometimes. I like rain. I don't like rain, but I like the sound of rain. So sometimes I ask Alexa to do rain sounds. But yeah, there's something to do with the ASMR, is it called? Where people like different sounds and it soothes them. People who like the sound of a zipper going zip, zip, zip. Oh no, I don't like thunderstorms. They terrify me. My dad tried his hardest, to get me to like a thunderstorm, but no, no. Well, my friend who's got the boiler trouble, she's also got a leak on a conservatory. So she's got all her conservatory furniture in the lounge, along with her lounge furniture. So she's having fun. He's trying to get a plumber at this time of the year. Knitting club has finished until I think the library one starts on Monday. And the other club had started up on Wednesday, but there was only 5 people there because I don't think people had realised it was back open. So I did go to the one on Wednesday. That was quite... And I think the library's open on Monday, so I think I'm going there. It's been quite boring not having anywhere to go. Because I think I told you, around here is a bit of a desert. There's nowhere nice cafes or nice anything to go to, yeah. So when the knit club's not around, there's nothing for me to do, I had thought about joining armchair yoga, but it's in the morning. I don't get up in the morning. Yeah. It's the same with the swimming baths. The water aerobics is about 8 o'clock in the morning, like, eek. I'd have to set off from here about 7 o'clock to get there for 8 o'clock, which there's only one 7 o'clock in my day, and that's at night, yeah. Oh, it's way too early. Civilized hours, 10 o'clock to me. They always offer me hospital appointments about 8 in the morning. And like Blackpool Victoria Hospital is like the opposite side of Blackpool. So I've got to go through here, through Cleveland's, through Blackpool, and the other side to get there. So giving me an 8 o'clock appointment? No, thank you. Yeah. We have a coffee shop, but it's rubbish coffee. It's not a decent coffee at all. And the menu for the snacks has not changed one iota in the 3 years I've been here. So there's only so many rotten toasted sandwiches you can eat, isn't there? But you have to travel a good half hour to get to it. There's nothing, just, I can't. I miss the cafe culture. I miss just popping up the road and having the choice of about 4 cafes. You could sit there and watch the world go by, have a nice breakfast, not a toasted blooming sandwich. Ugh, tell you that they've no idea around here, no idea at all. When you consider it's supposed to be a holiday sort of place, I think they rely on the fact that holidaymakers come for a week and then they buzz off, don't they? So they don't notice that the menu doesn't change. Yeah. We were talking about that only today, saying, "Whoa, we'd give for a bacon sandwich, just a bacon sandwich," and our cafe doesn't do it. The only cafe that does a decent bacon and egg sandwich is you have to sit outside, which is lovely in the summer. But you really wouldn't want to sit outside next to the sea, bashing up the seawall, would you? This kind of weather. Just a fact to eat a bacon and egg butty. I mean, the cafe doesn't even do baked potatoes or anything like that. They do toasted sandwiches, chips, and cookies, or as we call them, biscuits, cookies, and blooming, what do you call them, blueberry muffin things. That's all they seem to do. The coffee's rank. To go to a Costa or what do you call it? What's the other one? The other coffee shop, anyway. You have to travel miles to go to Affinity to get one of them. Starbucks, that's it. Is it Starbucks? No, it's not a Starbucks. We don't have a Starbucks. We have a Costa and we have another one, but it's not a Starbucks. I actually saw a Hortons while I was out on my travels one day, not here. I was out in the car, Tim Hortons, and I went, never seen one of them ever, anywhere. And there was one when we were on our travels. I forget where we were, but we weren't stopping. My son says, "I'm not stopping there just to get a coffee. Give over, Mum." But I'd never even seen a Tim Hortons or whatever anywhere. Costa's not too bad. I have had Starbucks when I was in Manchester. No, there was a Tim Hortons. I don't know where we were. I think we'd been to IKEA or IKEA, as they insist on saying, and we were on our way back from there. Now, IKEA is in Warrington, so we must have been on our way back from Warrington when I saw it. But it's the only one I've ever seen in the UK, because there's definitely not one in Manchester. I'm not a lover of donuts, not even them Krispy Kreme things. They used to sell Krispy Kreme at Tesco's in Prestwich. And they're really, really expensive for a donut. For goodness sake, it's a donut. It's nothing special. It's just a donut. I can't understand what the fascination is with these Krispy Kreme things. But I don't like donuts anyway. I don't like the dough. It's weird. I think what put me off donuts is when we used to go years ago to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. All you could smell was donuts and candy floss, and it was that sickly, oily smell. And it used to make me feel ill. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always been donuts back from me being a kiddie, but they were just donuts. And that's what they used to sell at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. They used to do candy floss, which again is sweet and sugary and yick. They used to do candy floss, toffee apples, and these donut things, and of course chips. But all you could smell was this vile, sickly sweet oil smell. And it used to really knock me off. So I just don't like donuts because of that. The only ones I ever used to eat was some that I used to get from Tesco's, and they were custard donuts. So they weren't sweet like a jam donut, and they didn't have sugar all around them. It was a custard donut. I used to like those. But jam donuts are very sweet, aren't they? With sugar all over them. And, ugh. The one thing I do like that you don't see hardly anywhere now is rhubarb. What do they call it? Savarin? Something Savarins? Rhumbarbas. I loved those. They used to sell them at Tesco's. And they don't. I've not seen any for years. They were lovely rhumbarbas. It's probably something to do with the alcohol or something, I don't know. What's collage? Collage? I don't know what that is. I mean, people like the Greek, is it baklava? Lizzie will know that one. But I don't like anything that's got nuts and stuff in. When we went to Skiathos, there used to be a shop. When you think about it, there were no tourists at the time when we went to Skiathos the first time. And yet there used to be a place that we used to call it the Sticky Bun House because everything they sold was like sticky, like, and they all had honey and nuts and everything. Well, of course, I don't like honey and I don't like nuts. So it sort of ruled me out of half of their menu. But, oh, Janet, that is too big. What are you doing, girly, girly? Oh, no, it's all right. I don't know why I don't like honey. I just don't. Yeah. Is it called baklava or something, Lizzie? You know, don't you? Because it's Greek, isn't it? Goulash is a roll pastry. Yeah. I'm a plain sort of dessert person. I prefer like just a nice sponge cake or a nice sponge bun. Something like that. I don't like over the top stuff. Oh, you going already? Oh, what time is it over there, Trish? Yeah. I like plainer things. I like plain sponge cakes and plain things like that. A nice good Mary Berry sponge, Victoria sponge. I like that. I used to love meringues, but they're sort of too sweet for me now. And I used to like what they used to call elephant's foot. I don't know whether you know what they are. They're a great big puff, got cream in the middle, and it's like puff pastry all blown up. And it's got chocolate on the top, and it's got cream in the middle. And they call them elephant's foot. Oh gosh, 3:42. You're worse than my friend. My friend goes to sleep about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I like oat. What do they call them? You do them with honey, not honey, syrup and oats and things. I like those. I used to make those a lot. Yeah, I can't think what they're called now. Flapjack. That's the one. Flapjack. I like a flapjack. Flapjacks are better for somebody like me who's diabetic because apparently the oats make the sugar very slow release. So if you're going to have a cake or anything like that, a flapjack is much better for me. Not that I'm supposed to be having any. But having said that, what have I got? I've got some sweeties. I've got a box of Quality Street that I had. And for once, nobody's ate them all. A flapjack is like made of oats and syrup, sugar, and you can put some currants and things in them. That's a flapjack. And it's baked. It's like flat and crisp, like a crisp thing. Yeah. What's this pound cake that Americans always make? Pound cake? Is it like Madeira? Is it like sponge? I know they make pound cake with 7-Up and stuff. Or lemonade or something like that. I suppose it's a bit like muesli only in a bar, but there's no nuts in. It's a baked thing, yeah. Lots of butter and dense, like cake, regular cake. I know everybody's always, you see these stories and they say, oh, to welcome a new neighbour into the neighbourhood, we take a pound cake round. And I'm like, what the heck's a pound cake? Does it weigh a pound? Why is it called a pound? Is it heavy? Is it a pound heavy? Yeah, I got the feeling it was like a sponge cake, but probably heavier. I like a good Mary Berry, light sponge. That's what I like. Very well made Victoria sandwich is what I like. I'm not one for chocolate cakes and all kinds of oogie googie things, yeah. Like some people like Black Forest Gatto and things like that. I'm not that fancy me. It's like cheesecake. I'm not a fan of unless it's a proper cheesecake. A cake with cheesecake. Yeah, not like a layer of biscuits, a layer of that, and a layer of fruit on the top. That's not a cheesecake to me. It's it's a cake, but it's called a cheesecake. I tasted it the first time when my brother was getting married. Somebody had made one. And I've been looking for the recipe ever since. It was lovely. You make it with cream cheese, but it's made like a cake, like a sponge, but cream cake, but cream cheese, yeah. I guess I'm not a fancy cake person. They bought like a Christmas cake here without the icing on the top because nobody likes icing. And they were, oh, it's gorgeous, oh, it's lovely, but it had bits of candied peel in it, and I said, no. I was picking out the bits of candied peel. There were tiny little cubes of candied peel, and I was like, at first I thought they were nuts, but they weren't nuts, they were candied peel, so not my thing. Now I've got chocolate on my teeth. What else can I have? I'll have one of these, I think. I'm just hoping this isn't a nutty one. Oh, it sounds a bit googie. Yeah. A bit gooey. Who did I watch? I watched somebody different the other day. And I thought, oh, I must remember that to watch it again, and I forgot. Do you ever do that? You come across somebody's channel, don't you, and you forget to write it down, or you forget to. On one of my, I don't know if it's the Fire Stick or what it is, I can't subscribe on it. It won't let me subscribe or leave a message, or whatever. And I was watching it and I thought, oh, she's quite interesting, that lady. I thought I'll watch her again. I forgot. Completely forgot. So unless I come across her again. It's so irritating when you do that, isn't it? When you find somebody really, really interesting and you can't find them again. Yeah, my friend wouldn't eat Eccles cake. She said they were dead flies, yeah. That was her elder sister when she was a child. Told her they were flies. And she believed them. And I kept saying, well, you can taste them now. You're grown up and you know they're not flies. I love Eccles cakes from Chorley cake. As I said before, I'm more of a plain cake person. I'm not into all this chocolate and layers and yeah, the trouble with that only me is the fact that I use different things to look at me YouTube. I can now use the telly, and I can't sort my way out. I can't even get my subscriptions on the telly one. I must ask my son how I do that. And then sometimes I'll do it on the Fire Stick, and sometimes I'll do it on the computer, and sometimes I do it on my phone. So I never can remember where I actually saw it. You know, and I wish I could go back. Like on my other computer, I used to have a thing on the left-hand side, and I used to go back in my history of what I've been watching. But I only used to use that computer. But now I'm using 3 different things or 4 different things. It's very difficult for me to keep track on what I've actually been watching. So I should keep a pencil and paper by the side of my bed, because half the time it's been on the Fire Stick I've seen things, and then I can't find it again. So that is what I should do. Yeah. Jill, you know me, I'm a complete and utter dumb, yeah, when it comes to finding things, doing things. If I was good at computering, I would be able to do a web page. I'd be able to do all sorts of things. Maybe I should put that down on my goals for 2024. Stop being such a dummy and learn how to do things, yeah. I'm one of these kind of people is I need somebody sitting by the side of me. I can't learn through YouTube. I can't learn remotely. I need somebody sitting by my side, telling me what to do, and me with my pencil and paper, writing down what I understand, and then I'm fine. I mean, that's how I learned to do a lot of things was, um, you know, having somebody at the, well, I was impressed, which I used to have people that knew things and knew how to fix things and knew how to do things. And they used to come around and sit by my side and, you know, talk to me like they're talking to their granny, you know, like, Janet, this is what you do. This is what, are you watching? Are you listening? This is what you do. But when I get somebody wittering at me on YouTube saying, press this, press that, oh, you go into this, oh, and you go into that, and I'm like, whoa, 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 you left me half an hour ago. You know, I'm not with you at all. It's the same with web pages when they start saying you need your SEOs or something, and you need this and you need that. I'm like, what? I don't even know what it's called. I don't know what they are. I need somebody who would do it for me, that wouldn't charge me millions of pounds. Because I don't want a web page to carry on. I don't want to carry on my business. I just want to sell what I've got. And people keep saying, oh, use Vinted, use this, use that. And they won't have you because if they find out you've made things to sell, they boot you off. I was watching a lady on YouTube talking about Etsy. And my God, it could have been my mouth talking. And I thought, I'm glad I'm not alone. I'm glad I'm not on my own, yeah. Shopify, yeah, I think that's an online, you know. I don't know what it is about my Fire Stick, Kindle, whatever you want to call it. I can't watch later. I can't save. I can't put a comment on. I can't even put a tick, that. By the way, girls and boys, I've only got 18 thumbs up and there's 42 people in this channel. Just saying, just saying. Yeah. But you saw that video as well, that people are dropping off. Well, they're just being greedy. I mean, charging their commission on the postage. We don't have, mine's a very old Kindle. It's, one of them, it's gas powered, Etsy charging the commission on the postage as well. So say, for example, something's £30 and the postage is £30. They charge their commission on £60, which we can't help the postage. We don't have any control over that. And that's not profit. It just isn't profit. And that's not fair because you're paying like twice, aren't you? You're paying for the postage and you're paying commission on the postage. And you're like, hang on a minute, that's not... I mean, they never used to. They never used to do that. They only ever used to charge the commission on what you were actually charging for the goods. Because postage, who's got control over postage? Nobody. You could understand it if somebody was hiking up the postage and charging a lot more for postage than it actually was. But in my case, I was undercutting the postage just because it made my things seem too expensive. Yeah, eBay does it as well. They all do it. They're all greedy. But eBay don't charge as much commission as Etsy do. So that's why I stopped, and that's why a lot of people have stopped using, Etsy. I just wish somebody would come up with another Etsy that was fairer and just sort of like blew Etsy out of the water, I believe they're losing a lot of customers hand over fist, which is why they're getting greedier and greedier because they're losing revenue. But when you're losing revenue, that's not the answer, is to put things up. The answer is to drop things down to tempt people to come back to your site. If you've put everything up and people can't afford it anymore, you want to give them some incentive to come back. Oh, yeah, they have no... What I don't like about Etsy in particular is it was billed as like handcrafting, handmade, hand everything. And now they sell any old junk, don't they? You don't have to have handmade anything to go on Etsy anymore. You can just put any old rubbish on there and sell it, So that's why I don't... I mean, I have bought patterns still from them because sometimes that's the only place. But since when do patterns cost £10? Flipping heck, I don't mind paying for a pattern. I do not mind paying for a designer who spent the time and everything designing a pattern. But I do draw the line at £10 when the pattern isn't particularly wonderbar, yeah? People are getting a bit greedy with patterns. Yeah, I know they're hard work. I've never made a pattern for the reason they are hard work. And I know they are. You've got to check it. You've got to check all the sizes. You've got to check everything's right. Double check it. Get somebody else to pattern check it. You've got all these to do. But I still think £10 is a lot to ask for a bit of paper, You can buy a book, a whole book, from somebody like Amazon with 20 or 30 patterns in and pay £14 for that. And yet they want £10 for one pattern that's a simple pattern. I saw one the other day that a lady had on YouTube. I thought, oh, I do like that. It looks nice and simple, but I like it. I went on to, the Etsy, £10. I thought, no. Little Janet is going to copy the picture and is going to do it herself. Yeah. Yeah, I don't do patterns, as you know, because I don't have the expertise. I can do things for myself, and I know I do everything without a pattern, but I wouldn't like to consider myself to be like a designer because people would want it in different sizes, wouldn't they? They would want it in yarn, perhaps, that they have in America that they don't have here. You know, it's just such a hard work for me to design for like the American market, for example. Yeah. Now I don't know how Kofi works. I think um, Denise uses Kofi, doesn't she? But then she sells small things. She sells things like stitch markers and yarn bobbin things. So probably it works for her, the Kofi. I've never gone into it, so I don't really know. I can't say one way or the other with Kofi. Yeah, it is pretty high for a pattern. I think one single pattern, £10. Crochet Southwest Spirit. I've not heard of that one. Is it a new one or an American one or? Yeah, I've not gone into it, Chris, so I can't really say one way or the other because I don't know. If you don't know, you can't say, can you? Yeah. She's called Pretty Peaceful on YouTube. I started watching a lady. She's called Craft and a Cuppa. She does some pretty sort of straightforward YouTube videos. She's not everybody's cup of tea. She is mine because she does a lot of like, those hexagon cardigans and brightly coloured sweaters done like as a square. And she's done a hat, with a peak on it, brightly colours and that. So she's my time kind of crocheter, but perhaps not everybody else's. But she does some fairly, good, easy to follow videos, yeah. So she's, from the UK. That's another thing I like because she's using UK yarn, not 4-weight, which I can't get over here. I mean, that's one reason why I don't do patterns is because we don't have the equivalent of a 4. Aaron's thicker, double knit's finer. So I can't say, oh yeah, you use a 4-weight, which was everybody seems to use in America. Plus the fact I'd be rubbish at anybody's size that's not mine. I can tell you how to do my size, but I can't tell you to do anything else. I can't tell you how to make it smaller. I can't tell you how to make it bigger. Yeah. One of my goals this year is to do more Tunisian. I do know how to do the absolute basic, but I'd like to do more Tunisian, but not a blanket. I would like to use it for a garment. Oh, that sounds okay, Chris. I'll have to look into it. I've been very, very lazy. I've been guilty of being lazy, saying, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then not actually doing anything. That's my problem. I think my word of the year should be procrastination because that's what I do, a lot of it. I'm like, yes, I need to do this, and yes, I need to do that. Do I do it? No, because I'm lazy. And I'll hold my hand up and say, I'm lazy. I'm full of bright ideas. Like in bed, I've got these wonderful ideas in my head in bed, and then they don't work because I don't do anything. I don't work at them. I don't say, right, I am going to do that. I'm going to plan it out, going to start it, going to do it. I'm lazy, full of bright ideas, like I said. When I was younger, I'd be full of bright ideas and I'd follow them through. Yeah. Yeah, I want to do some more Tunisian and I also want to do, when I say colour work, I don't mean mosaic crochet because mosaic is thicker, isn't it, when you get texture. I don't mean that. I mean, like, for example, to crochet like a flower onto something as like if it was knitting, it would be called fair isle, or well, they call it colour work in America, but we call it fair isle. That's what I would like to do. Yeah, work from a chart, do sort of more picture work, not particularly a scene, a picture, but something, like a flower or whatever, a bird, something on a sweater. That's what I would like to work on. Yeah. Hello, excuse me. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, I'm full of bright ideas. I'd get very annoyed with myself because I don't follow them through. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Jill. I need to challenge myself. I am lazy and I'll hold my hand up and admit it. Full of bright ideas, but too lazy to do them. It's like I'm expecting everybody else to come and say, "Here you are, Janet. It's on a spoon. It's on a plate. Here you go." I'm very bad at challenging myself, pushing myself, going beyond my limits. What do you call it? My parameters. That's a big word, isn't it? I'm not very good at going out of my comfort zone. I tend to stay where I know rather than saying, right, I am going to learn how to do X, Y, and Z. I'm very bad at that. And I wish I wasn't so, it's not negative. It's not the right word, is it? Fearful. I don't know whether that's the right word. At one time when I was younger, I would challenge myself. I would go, I want to learn how to do, say, for example, when I learned machine knitting. I want to learn machine knitting. I want to learn how to make this, that, and the other. And I went and did it and learnt it and did it. But now I'm like, dither. Hi, Val. How are you doing? Happy New Year. But I just don't challenge myself. Yeah. Yeah, I need to kick up the pants, to be quite honest, Chris. Really, I do. Yeah. I need somebody to say, stop messing about, stop shilly-shallying, get, Yeah, I'm like that, really. I know what I want to do, Lydia, but then, I can't be bothered half of the time, which is just like apathy, whatever you want to call it. And I just wish I could get myself out of this rut. I need to be amongst, like when I had Sue, for example, when she was my best friend and she used to come, well, she's still my best friend, but when she used to come down, we used to bounce ideas off each other. And she was like-minded with me. And she would stimulate me into doing things because she'd be, why don't we do such and such a thing? Why don't we do that? And she just we bounced ideas off each other. And that's what I'm missing. Yeah, I've got some lovely people who do knitting and crocheting, but they're not on the same colourful wavelength that I'm on. I'm more like the Katie Jones type of thing, that does brightly coloured stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm missing, Chris. I'm missing Sue, really, and her, ideas that bounce off me. I mean, at the moment, I've got some wonderful crafty friends, but they don't tend to be crafting in my direction. They tend to sew or embroider or do other things. They don't do bright coloured. Oh, Chris, I'm so guilty of that. Yeah, I think very, very guilty of planning things in my head. Does a yarn talk to me? Sometimes. Sometimes I look at, more so in the past when I used to order more. I'd see something online and think, that would make a wonderful blah, 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 blah. And then Sue would be there and she'd say, oh, yeah, you could do that with that. And you could do, yeah. And and then between us, we would order it or something. And then we would challenge each other to do something with this. But now I think it's more, I see an idea. It's not particularly always a crochet pattern. Sometimes it can be an idea. I like looking at fashion. I wish there was more YouTube crochet fashion programs. All of the catwalk patterns seem to be very, very open work and very, very geared to a certain community. I don't want to sound racist here at all, but to a certain community that wear very, very open work, flamboyant clothing. That's what the catwalks seem to be. Like, the last one that they did in America, which was, I don't want to sound racist here, but all the models and all the designers were black, which nothing wrong with that at all, but they weren't what I would wear or people that I may sell to would wear. Yeah. And I watch a lot of YouTube's videos with sweet young things, but they all design things that are a little bit too flamboyant for the UK market, for example. So I want something in between, but yet there's no like catwalk patterns for British or European type crochet. There isn't. They're all American of a certain ethnic community. And most of the young lasses, on TikTok, they're all very tiny, very slim, and they live in hot country. And they wear shorts all the time and bikini tops, which is all very well. But when you live in the north here and it's cold and wet and freezing, I've not got a cat in hell's chance of selling bikini tops and shorts, Not a cat in hell's chance. So I just wish there was more like British designers who designed things that were more for a colder climate, let's just say. More cardigan sweater ideas rather than, two boob triangles on a bit of string, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, you're lurking, Jane. And you're working on your corner to corner. I wish you joy. I can't do corner to corner. I can do it. I have done it. It's not my joy. It doesn't bring me joy. And certain things you don't. Yeah. Corner to corner is one of them. Yeah. So that's what I would like. I would like to. Oh, I'm a garumi. What is the bloody? What is this? If I see one more plushy teddy, I'll go mad. What do they do with all these flipping plushy teddies? What do they do with them all? Unless you've got a kid that plays with them all, what do you want to make? All these plushy heart pillows and plushy teddies. What do you do with them all? What? I don't want them all over my bedroom. There's just only so many things you can make. And droopy handbags that don't have a lining in that would drop to the ground when you put anything in them, You can do your shopping in this market bag. No, don't bother. It'll go. I'm very cynical. Very cynical. I have to stop being cynical. Well, I mean, I do wear quite a few shawls, but I don't see other people wearing them. You're right, Chris. Not a lot of other people wear them. People tend to wear more a scarf, and I don't mean a handmade scarf. I mean the flimsy, drape around, And as for all these blankets, I mean, half of them finish up in the thrift shop, don't they? Because people make them in colours that don't go with the decor, and so they just chuck them out, don't they? They don't want them. I only ever make a blanket if somebody asks me for one or asks me for one in a specific colour. I wouldn't dream of making somebody a blanket on spec, when you don't know what their decor colour is and you don't know if they want one for a kick-off. Not everybody wants a blanket, a throw, an Afghan. Not everybody wants one. And they go, oh, thank you very much. And for a fact it's going to go somewhere out the door, the other end. So I would never make a blanket unless somebody asks me for. Well, even if they asked me for one, I wouldn't do it. I've made baby ones. They're useful because babies do use them, but I mean, look at the one I made in squares. It's slung on the back of my chair in the other room. It's pink. It's not my colour. I hate the thing. I only made it in pastels because my daughter-in-law wanted pastels, and now I don't like it. I wound up with it, and I don't want it. And yet it took me that much wool, and it took me that long to make it. I don't want to throw it away, you know. You can't dye it because it's man-made fibre and it won't dye. It'll finish up in the bottom of my bedding box, no doubt. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love granny squares and I love the throws and that, but mine's bright colours. I don't want pink, pastel colour. I don't want that. I've got that poncho I made with the big flowers on it. Never wore it. Tried to sell it, wouldn't sell. And I've got another poncho that a friend made me, all like in granny square stitches. But she made it with the hood, so I took the hood off it because it was strangling me. And I still haven't worn it. I would like more of a ruana shape than a poncho. You know, where it's got a straight back and two pieces. They're easier. And of course, I like them in finer yarn. I don't like anything too chunky. Yeah, that sounds better. Start with a throw and end with start with a fringe. I don't think if I made another throw, it would be in my kind of colours to cover up that awful beige recliner, because you know how I feel about beige. Beige is the colour of, yeah, old dears. I was watching a lady yesterday. I drifted onto things, and she was a French lady, and she was talking about what's out and what's in. And she was saying, like, you know, one colour you should never wear when you're over 50 is beige. You know, so don't let anybody tell you that you should wear beige because you shouldn't, you know. And I thought, a lady after my own heart. She was talking about your colouring and how your colouring changes as you get older. And she was saying, like, why do people, as soon as they get old, want to wear beige? And I thought, yeah, you're right, because my colouring is beige. So when I wear beige, it's like beige, 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 all the way down, you know. No. Grey is marginally better, but beige, no. Cream is lovely, but beige, no. And yet I have one cardigan that I made in beige, only purely because it's the only colour that would go with this particular dress. And everybody loves it and I hate it. I did hear Kaz had put a little thing on Facebook saying that she hadn't been well. She hadn't been doing everything, but she was starting to feel a bit better. But I don't know whether she's back at work or not. But she did put a little update on Facebook. So whether, you know, I don't know whether she's back to work or not. Maybe. I've got all these pieces on the go now. I've got the back on the go, the front on the go. I can only get them all to a certain point, and then I can introduce the other colour in on both ends, you know. Whether I do it striped at the top or what I do, I'll have to see how much yarn I've got left when I finish the sleeve. So I should have a part ball left when I finish that second sleeve. So it's like, you know, where do I put the other colour in? How do I introduce it? Stuff like that. I'm like that, Leslie, like not quite enough yarn, you know. Beige isn't bad as a background colour if you've got, but I don't like a beige cardigan. Or a beige dress. Oh, that's like fade into the background, isn't it? If you want to be a wallflower and disappear into the background, wear beige. I actually bought some beige trousers, but I finished up giving them away because I never wore them. Cream ones, I wear cream trousers. Cream looks nice. But you know that icky colour of beige I'm talking about, that? I don't like that. I like the unbleached colour. You know, for a cotton top in the summer, the unbleached, which is different than beige. It's not beige, is it? It's more like an ecru colour. You know what I mean? Which is cotton. Oh, gosh. Yeah. It was very fashionable at one time, brown. Brown with orange was really fashionable in the 60s. I had a brown and orange suite in the 60s, would you believe? Big flowers all over it. It was brown with big goldy flowers all over it. Kind of like a bit revolting, but it was the rage back in the day. And they wore a lot of brown in psychedelic things, you know, browns with golds and bright greens and stuff. I don't think I've never been a brown person. I don't know why. You have colours that you are and colours that you're not. Like I don't like navy blue because I wore it at school. So I don't wear, and I don't like pink. I do not like pale pink. It's all right for a baby, all right for a toddler, but I don't like pale pink. Oh yes, stripes were all the rage, weren't they, back then? Deck chair stripes. I'm just trying to think what I used to wear a lot of. Surprisingly enough, when I was growing up, I used to wear a lot of dark colours. My mother used to go mad with me. I think I was trying to fade into the background. I don't think I had a lot of confidence. And it was only as I grew up more into the 60s that I decided to go with the psychedelia and the bright colours and the fringing and the leather and the suede. Do you remember the suede waistcoats done in squares with the crocheting all the way around the edge and fringe? I would still wear one of those if I could find one. I love all that sort of stuff. Oh, avocado green. Everybody had bathroom suites, didn't they? My mother did. In avocado green. She thought she was the bee's knees. And she had an avocado suite. I had a coloured suite, but mine was like a turquoise green. It was pretty, very pretty. My friend's little boy used to like having a bath because he swore it was like green water. It wasn't, because it was just a bath, but it made his water look green. So we used to say, your bath is so much nicer. Can I have a bath at your house because you've got green water? I mean, the kid was convinced it was green and the kid was getting in the water. So let the kid go in the water. At least he was having a bath. Oh, I still like red and black. That's very sort of gothic, isn't it, red and black? I've got a belt. I haven't worn it actually for a bit. It's like a big corset belt. It's black with a red rose embroidered on it. It's like my boots. My boots are black, aren't they, with big red roses embroidered up them. My Doc Martens. I like black and red, I must admit. I like black and red. I like black and purple. I'm wearing black and turquoise at the moment, with turquoise beads, and Shad's not on to ask me. Yeah, brown. I had brown and gold wallpaper at one time. Big sunflowers. Big gold sunflowers on my hall wallpaper. When you think about it, it's terrific. But it was the trend back then. And you had one feature wall that was like really bright colours. It was always the fireplace wall that was a feature wall. And it had big zigzaggy things on it. And oh, Great. Man, it's better than the trend now where everything's grey. Oh, oh, oh. Anyway, I was watching a program saying it's old hat now. You shouldn't use grey. Yeah, make a suede waistcoat. Yeah, I could do with how you get the suede squares. Mine, yeah, I can remember having a suede coat and getting absolutely soaking wet through and getting on the bus. And everybody's going, and it just smelt like a wet old cow. It's absolutely stunk. And when I walked in the house, my mum said to me, "Have you stepped in something? Will you check your shoes?" Yeah. You got an order for some hats? All the fashion seems to be hats done like cat hats, but done in that very, very thick blanket stuff. You know, you do 3 rows and you reach the arm, the ears. Yeah. That seems to be a trend with these young ones, that thick, thick, thick stuff like blanket stuff. And I'm like, what are you making a hat with that for? One young woman had made a pair of shorts. I thought, God, she mustn't be able to get her legs together at the top because it's that thick. Yeah, plushy yarn shorts. That's weird, isn't it? Yeah, I could do with somebody who can resell some of my crochet, but it's not going to happen, is it? I need to move to Brighton or somewhere seasidey. Did you see that scrunchie I put on my page? It was by that Mooey Mooey, is it called? Mia Mia, whatever. And it was a crocheted scrunchie. Put my light on. Right, let me have a look. Notifications. Messenger. Who did I send it to? Can't remember who I sent it to now. I sent it to. I think I sent it to B. I think. Can't see it now. There it was. It was Miu Miu. It was a scrunchie, yeah, and it was. Can you see the price? £346. It's a scrunchie. £346 for a scrunchie. I couldn't sell mine 2 for £1 at the last craft fair. What we're talking about, scrunchies, £345 for a scrunchie. That's what we're talking about. I couldn't sell. Hi, K&K. I couldn't sell mine 2 for £1. Admittedly, they weren't in bright colours like that. They were a single colour. But, I mean, it's crazy money, that, isn't it? Oh, thank you, Stacey, if you subscribe. I need a few more subscribers. I would love a few more subscribers. But I don't beg and plead. Mooey, it's M-I-U, Mooey Mooey. They actually did, a long time ago, a sweater that was done in all part rose, bright colours. And they got some model to model it. And that was hundreds of pounds. And it was like using up your scrap bits, that you had in your scrap basket. See if I can find it. Why can I not type on this phone? I type one thing and it changes it to something else. I'm just trying to see if I can find it now. It was hundreds of pounds and it was made with all these scrap bits and pieces. All these scraps. Oh gosh, go away. No, I bet it's not here now. She's just doing plain colours now. But I know it was, it's not here. No. But they got some model to model it. Oh, thank you, Stacey. And it was all, you did a row of one colour and then a part row of another colour, and the whole thing was made out of scraps, this sweater. And they got some starlit to model it, and that was hundreds of pounds for this sweater. And I remember thinking, are they mad? Are they crazy paying that kind of money for it? Yeah. But the scrunchie, £340 odd for a scrunchie. Come on. Who in the right mind would pay that for a bit of elastic and a bit of, a bit of multicoloured yarn and a bit of elastic? One ball of yarn, you'd probably make about 25 of them out of one ball. £346. If I sold a couple of them, I'd be able to buy my passport, have my chimney swept, and do quite a few things with that, wouldn't I? Only need to sell one, wouldn't I? If I sold one, I'd be singing, I'm in the money. But some people have the whatever. Was it cashmere? I think it was spun gold, actually, I think. Or unicorn's high teeth, one of those, yeah. No, I don't think Kate Middleton wears a scrunchie, does she? She advertises earrings mostly. But I mean, I must admit, she does wear some lovely things to advertise, and she doesn't always wear terrifically high-end stuff. I mean, she wears things that are out of my price bracket, but they're not so expensive that other people, can't. It's MIU. They make sweaters and things. At the moment, their sweater range is all single-coloured sweaters, but they're terribly, terribly expensive sweaters. I don't know how you pronounce it. Mayu. Don't know. Does one ever know how they pronounce these things? It's like IKEA when they keep trying to say it's IKEA. I'm sorry, but it's not IKEA. It's IKEA. Yeah, that's the way I call it, and that's the way I'll call it. Yeah, it's IKEA to me. But certain things like we got onto how they pronounce things different. It's a brand name, yeah. They're very expensive, aren't they? Very expensive for the sweaters and stuff. I will have a green sweetie now. I don't know whether it's a mint sweetie or what kind of sweetie it is. You miss my thermos? Yeah, I don't have my thermos anymore. It's a green sweetie. I think it's just chocolate on its own without anything in the middle. Mm. It's one hard piece of chocolate, that. Yeah, they are very famous, Stacey. They are. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Once you get your name known, you're in the money, aren't you? But fashion is very, very fickle. I'll never have that problem because I will never be famous, but you know what I mean? Fashion is very fickle. What's in one year is out the year after, isn't it? One year, everybody wants to wear it. Everybody's seen wearing it. All these starlets are wearing it. And then the year after, it's like old hat. Nobody wants it anymore. It must be hard to be in the fashion business. Coming up with something new. And so, it's all right if you're somebody like Chanel or Yves Saint Laurent and people like that, they expect, you know, some of their designs some years are not nice. Some years they come out with some stuff and you think, oh, everything in the collection is beautiful. And other times you watch the catwalk, don't you, and you think, come off it, you know, what is it? Yeah. Do I get IBS with chocolate? No, I don't. The only reason why I'm not supposed to be having it is nothing to do with my IBS. It's to do with my diabetes, actually. Yeah. But chocolate is not one of the things that sets me off. Yeah. Oh, gosh. We're Kardashian. No, they make their own things, don't they? Shapewear or whatever. I will never be famous. When will I be famous? If I see me picture in the paper, it won't be for anything good. I did once have my picture in the paper, but it was only the local paper, and it was showing a picture of my stall when I was at a craft show. But they showed a picture of everybody else's stall as well, so I wasn't on my own. It wasn't like they picked me out and said, "Oh, she's so beautiful and her stall's so wonderful." No, we just took a picture. But well, people aren't famous for the right reasons now. People are famous for being a wannabe, for being whatever. They're not famous for being anybody or anything, like a big star, you know, like a good singer or a good person who's on the films and that. They're just not, they're famous for being on a reality show or something. Am I going to Yarndale? No, I doubt it, actually. I doubt it this year. I don't know whether they're holding the Edinburgh one actually in March, I think, but I don't know what date. But they said they weren't doing anymore. But I'd probably be going to Spain in March or April when they're holding the. And it's difficult for me to go to Edinburgh because I'd have to stay overnight. And because of my mobility issues, I'd have to stay somewhere close by to the venue. And then all the best places and hotels and things like that are always booked up. You know, so you'd have to kind of say you were going months in advance to get a hotel room that's anywhere near. So I doubt I'll be going this year. I thought they'd stop doing the Edinburgh one anyway. No, I haven't sent for my passport. I've not had my photo took yet. Oh, good night, Stacey. Good night. Thanks for joining us, love. Like and subscribe if you like me. I'm not begging, really. Not begging, really. Everybody else says it, don't they? Like and subscribe, and I don't really, but I should do. My channel never grows. I think I've told you. Never grows. If I get anybody joining me, somebody leaves me. So I finish up with the same amount. Oh dear, I think I'm stuck in a rut. Stuck in a rut. Yeah. Oh, my doggy's come back in again. Hello, sweetheart. Hello. Hello, you're back again. Yeah, you're going out wee wee. Yeah, she's going out wee wee. She always comes in to have a little pat when she goes. The little one doesn't always, but Rosie always does. Rosie's got a thing about liking my bed. She will go in there. I think it's quiet. So she goes in my bedroom because it's dark and it's quiet. And if she gets fed up of the world, she goes in there and lies on the bed. The trouble is she screws up I've got a cover thing on top of the duvet, and she screws it up. It looks like a whirlwind in the middle spinning. But as I say, I don't mind her. I don't mind her going on there. She doesn't sleep on my duvet. She sleeps on the cover thing. She's a little love. To say she's a little rescue dog that never even understood a word of English when she came, she's been a good little dog, yeah. Oh yeah, comment, like, subscribe, anything to raise my profile. Yeah, I want to be famous in 2024. I'm not sure what for. Not infamous, just famous. I want to be famous as being a beautiful crocheter, which I won't be because I don't do tutorials because I can't. I haven't got the right. Oh, you had a cry because you were missing your late husband. I must admit, I had a good cry on Christmas Eve. Not because I was missing my husband, but because the lights went out. I was on my own, and I was just having a little bit of a pity party on my own. Yeah. So I had a little bit of a cry myself on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I thought, what a good way to start your new year, having a bawling your eyeballs out. Yeah. Yeah. We all miss people, Jane. I know Kaz misses her husband as well. I miss my brother. I miss my mum, dad, and my dog. I don't miss my husband, of course. But that's a different thing, isn't it? When you get divorced, it's not the same, is it? But sometimes it does you good to have a jolly good ball. Get it out of your system. I'm fully in favour of having a really good cry. Don't bottle it all up. If you feel like having a good cry, have a good cry. Have a good weep. Sob your heart out. Get it out of your system. I fully think that's the best thing to do. All this stiff upper lip nonsense, you know. If you're feeling whatever, you just have a good cry. You get snotty and you have a headache, but it does make it better in a way. Get it out of your system, doesn't it? But if you bottle it all up and you don't say anything and you don't do anything, you feel 10 times worse. So you're better off, Jane. Have a good cry when you feel like it. Have a good sob in your hanky. Yeah. The holidays are hard, and I don't know why you always get people who've lost someone at a holiday time, don't you? So it brings the memories back every year then. I know people can't help when they die, but you know, when they die on Christmas Eve, you think, oh, thanks for spoiling Christmas, you know. And that's a nasty way of thinking about it, but it does, doesn't it? It spoils every Christmas for the years to come. I don't cry as much as I used to. I used to cry a lot at one stage. I had like something would trigger. It didn't have to be. I think it was hormones. It didn't have to be anybody, you know, like passing away, dying. It could be something sad on the telly. And I'd be watching that and I'd find myself with tears rolling down my face. I think, what are you crying for, you daft thing? It's nothing to do with you. It's a film. It's not real, you know. But sometimes it's the way you are. It can be your hormones. It can be whatever. It can trigger off memories, can't it? Yeah. I used to cry my eyes out at Lassie. You know, Lassie come home. Oh, God, yeah. Things like The Lion King, you know. Oh, goodness me. Don't like things like that. Cry my eyeballs out with The Lion King, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Animals and children, you know, when kids. Yeah, it can be the full moon, you're right. Is it a full moon tonight, Jill? You're supposed to jingle your money in your pocket if it's a full moon, because that ensures that you've got wealth the following year. It's never worked with me. I've done it loads of times. Jingle your money in your pocket. It's like we were saying before, you know, my mum has words in my ear. But you don't have to be, Jane. You just, something triggers a memory and then that's it, isn't it? Yeah, I can do that. I did for the Queen, and Arian saying, what are you crying for the Queen for? You don't know her. I said, yeah, but it's so sad. It was so sad when I found out that she died. You know, it was really sad. because she'd been a queen as long as I'd been. Well, I think I was about 5 or 6 when she got crowned queen. So she'd been my queen all my life, really. So I was really upset when she passed away, even though I never knew her. Obviously, I never knew her. Never had that privilege of ever meeting her. Hello, Gloria. How are you doing? I always want to sing that song, Gloria, Gloria. But you're fed up with it. My friend used to hate Sweet Caroline because she was called Caroline. She said, oh, sing that song. Sadly, there's not a song that says Janet, so. Oh, don't talk about her, Munchkin. Yeah, I've got a trickle of sweat running down my face, and I don't know why, because I don't normally sweat. Well, they say men sweat, is it? Or is it horses that sweat? Ladies glow. Well, I'm glowing a lot. It's running down my cheek. Oh, no, we don't talk about that thing in Montecito. No, she's not anybody I like to speak about. As far as I'm concerned, you can all keep her in America. Please don't send them back. Oh, that's it. Horses sweat, men perspire, ladies glow. Well, I'm glowing a lot then because it's running down the side of my cheek. Ah, dear. So, have you all made New Year's resolutions or revolutions, as my son used to call them? I don't make them. I make sort of, like you said, goals I'd like to do. I make things I'd like to do, but I don't make actual resolutions because I know I always break them. I'm no good at sticking to them. It's no good me saying I am going to lose weight or I am going to do this because I know I won't. So I have aims, goals, what do you call them? Aims, things I'd like to do in the new year. But I don't like setting myself targets because I know I'm going to fail. And there's nothing worse is that makes you feel really rubbish about yourself, is setting yourself a goal and you know, then you fail, don't you? Because it makes you feel like a loser for the rest of the year then, doesn't it? If you don't keep your resolution, yeah. No, I've got aims and goals, things I would like to do. I'm probably going to do a video because I was going to do it today, but of course I didn't get up in time. But I was challenged by Tracy Crochet Rocks to do this 24 goals for 2024. So I've written them down on a piece of paper, but that's as far as I've got so far. So you maybe get a video tomorrow. You never know. I've managed to get myself out of bed. Yeah. Yeah, making a list of things, but they don't really involve crochet as per such. It's not like a long list of things that I would like to crochet, but not at the time. It's more other kind of goals, things like be more positive, things like that. That kind of goals I'm writing. But if I write, I would like to make a whatever, a granny square jacket or something. That's not really a goal. That's just a wish, isn't it, for the future. I'd like to use more of a stash up. I'd like to tidy up the shed, but they're like not, they're just general goals, aren't they? Just things that you want to do in the future, yeah. Oh, you're on this fear of spiders. Tracy Crochet Rock, she absolutely hates spiders. She has a real, I don't like them, but I wouldn't say I had a phobia. I don't like anything like a mouse or a spider that suddenly runs from somewhere. That's what makes me. It's not if you show me a spider and it's there, I'm okay. You show me a mouse and it's there, I'm okay. But it's when the spider runs past me or the mouse runs past me that gets me all. So I won't say it's a fear really. It's just a shock of it, yeah. But Tracy goes potty if she sees a spider. I wouldn't even have started it, Jane. Never mind about a corner to corner. I made one. I made me niece's son one in, oh God, I don't know what house it was, but something, one of the houses that was maroon that was in Harry Potter. And I got him a badge. I bought a badge off, was it Ravensdoor? I don't know. The one that's maroon and gold anyway. So I made him this maroon blanket and sewed this badge on that was from whatever house. Can you be added? Well, we don't really add people, Flawless. We just sort of, people just turn up. Yeah. Kind of don't add people, really. It's not that kind of channel, love. Yeah. You name the spider. My friend keeps tarantulas. Oh, God, I couldn't do that. They would really give me the creepies, yeah. I had another friend that sadly passed away. She used to come on here, Pauline, she was called, night nurse. She used to keep tarantulas and all sorts of things. Oh. And she used to say, do you want a coffee? And I'd be sitting there looking around. She had them all in tanks all around this lounge thing. Oh. Was it Gryffindor? I'm not very good at with. I think I must be the only person who's never watched or read any Harry Potter. I always thought they were more for kids, so I've never bothered to read them or watch any of them. They've been on the telly, haven't they? But I've never watched them. I don't know why. I just never really fancied them. I don't know whether anybody else is the same about Harry Potter. No, I've not seen Star Wars either. And I've never even seen Jaws. Now, that is really weird, isn't it? You've never seen Jaws. Everybody was going mad for Jaws, weren't they, back in the time? And I've never seen that. No, I only know bits about Harry Potter that I see floating about, but I've never actually watched anything or read anything. I only knew about that because I'd been asked to make this blanket for my niece's son who was mad about Harry Potter. But I had to be told what colours and everything like that. Oh gosh, I won't go. Well, I haven't been to my friend Sarah's, but I wouldn't go because I know she's got spiders and snakes. She wouldn't get me past her front doorstep, I tell you. Hi, Nana Michelle. How are you doing? No, I'm afraid no. Tarantulas and I mean Isaac, when he comes on, Isaac comes on. He's got a corn snake, a yellow snake. And he puts pictures of it on Facebook, and I'm like, I'd rather see you with the pigeons, you know. He feeds the pigeons. I'd rather see photos of the pigeons than his corn snake. Oh, gives me the shudders. Dexter, it's called. Dexter the corn snake. Ew, my teeth are horrible yellow. I need to get something to whiten them with. I use whitening toothpaste, but obviously it's not working, yeah. You've been rereading Harry Potter. Do you know, I've never really read it. I always thought of it as something for kids to read. I don't know whether it appeals to adults or not, yeah. I'm out of all that sort of stuff. I'm never with it with anything that's the latest craze. Oh, I like Stephen Fry. I like it when he reads things, yeah. I'm not scared of them if I'm confronted with them and they're like in front of me in a cage or whatever. It's just I don't like things that fly in front of me. It's like when we went to Tenerife one year, many, many years ago, there was bats in the trees. I'm not scared of bats, but when they fly past you, I mean, it's all a myth that they go in your hair. They don't, but they fly past you and they come like over your head, and they're a bit sort of scary when they suddenly swoop. You know, it's like, whoa, what the heck's that? So, but I can't say I'm scared of bats, but I just didn't, they just made me jump when they came flying past me, you know. But they're quite sweet when you see them, bats. They've got quite sweet little faces, but I just wouldn't want one, you know, I just wouldn't want one flying, flying back past me. I don't like being startled by anything, let's just say. But any creatures, if they're in a cage or they're in a, and I'm looking at them, they don't bother me. It's just when I see them in the wild and they run on my feet or anywhere. When we had that mouse that time, I mean, it was the tiniest little mouse when we caught it. It was only about that big. But it just made me jump because it used to run. And it was always like running through my feet or running round the house or whatever. And that's what used to scare me. Hi, Yolanda. I don't like the suddenness of anything. Well, I wouldn't mind something like Johnny Depp running over my toes, you know. I wouldn't mind that kind of shock. You know, some good-looking film star or pop star or something running over my feet. I wouldn't mind that. Hello, everybody. Have you all had a good New Year so far? I've had about 5 power cuts, so yeah, mine's been brilliant so far. Well, why was you with Amber at all? I mean, she's a complete utter Fruit Loop, isn't she? At least you're not a Fruit Loop. No, I'm just kidding. Oh dear. She's faded into obscurity. You never even hear of her now, do you? I asked Orion to get my mouse. He did eventually catch it, yeah. My friend thought she had a mouse. My friend Sarah, who's got the snake and the spiders, she found out she got 4 mice. 4. She caught them all. Thank goodness we only had the one. And after we caught that, we've never seen one since. I'm surprised it even came in with our Rosie, because our Rosie has anything that's not nailed down, you know. I'm surprised she didn't have the mouse. I mean, we're always very careful with anything, like the dog food and everything's always in a box with a lid. You've won, do you know, that Sheila's won £50 on a premium bond and she won £100 the month before. I've had my premium bond since about 1960 and I've never won anything. I'm going to stand and rub shoulders with you next time I see you, Val. See if it's lucky. Oh, my son likes Maine Coon cats. When he goes to stay with friends in Scotland, they had 2. Sadly, they've just lost one. But they had 2 Maine Coon cats. But they used to sleep on the bed with the couple. So when they're very big cats, yeah. When Arian went up there, they used to sleep in with the couple who owned the house. So when Arian went up house sitting for them, these Maine Coons came and sat on the bed. They are big cats. Irene said he'd like one of those. I said, oh no. I said, they'd probably steal them round here. You couldn't keep it in. You can keep a dog in, can't you, by putting a fence up, but a cat would jump over the fence, wouldn't it? Be off. And they cost thousands, don't they? A premium bond, it's they brought them out years ago, premium bonds. You bought them, it was like a way of saving, but you could also win money. Every month or so, they used to have a draw. But I've been in it. I've had premium bonds since the 1960s, and I've never won. I'm just not lucky, I guess. If there was if there was 4 things in a raffle, and 5 people bought tickets, guess who'd be the one who didn't win anything? That'd be me. I've never been lucky. Never been lucky. I'm not lucky in raffles. I'm not lucky in anything. I don't even bother buying raffle tickets anymore now because I never win anything. I can have numbers in front of me, behind me, and everything, but never the right number. I'm just not a lucky person. I win lucky dips on the lottery. They are supposed to notify you. You're not supposed to have to check. I did check once and I still haven't won. But it's a long time since I checked, so I don't. I'm sure they tell you if you've won. Because I did change my address and make sure they knew where I was and everything. Yeah. It's Val, by the way, Jane. She just uses her husband's pseudonym. They notified you, did the Val, yeah. Yeah. They never notified me, nothing. Bills find you, don't they? But other things never do. I booked my chimney sweep for February anyway. Well, I wouldn't bother about it too much. I know it's you, but I have to correct it with everybody else in case they think they're chatting a fella, you know. Think they're chatting up a man. Hey, my Trev. How are you, my darling? Happy New Year. People were asking about you the other week, saying I'd heard from you. Yeah. Happy New Year to Trevor, everybody. Yeah. So how's your new year started off all right, Trev? Why am I singing Dashing Through the Snow? Christmas is gone. No, I've not heard any more yet about my wrist. I didn't think I would with it being Christmas. And also a lot of the junior doctors are on strike, aren't they? So it's probably put operations back. Well, I started my new year off with power cuts, so, I'm hoping mine changes. Toasting the new year in with a glass, Trevor, and then boom, all the lights went off. It was great, really. It was great. Start the new year as you mean to go off in the dark. Yeah. Well, I am always in the flipping dark, so. In the dark, behind the door, whatever they want to call it. Yeah, that's me. Oh, dear. Yeah, yours was crying, yeah. Well, mine was in the dark, so. I must admit I had a bit of a cry because I thought, oh, Not on this, starting your new year off with no light. It's not how you want to start the year, is it? On a dark note. Oh dear. Well, I don't know whether we're going to get this sort of pre-planned power cuts, but in actual fact, we've got a power substation just kind of across the road behind the house. And it was that got hit with something to do with the storm. So we've now got a generator there. So we're all working on a generator around here. So we could be flickering. People are complaining that they can't, cook their dinners and stuff like that. I got a big torch thing. It's got a light either side of it. It's one of those camping things. Arian was laughing at me for buying it, and he's saying, "Couldn't you get a bigger torch, mother?" and all that. And then he was trying to put a new tap in the kitchen, and he's going, "Can I borrow that torch?" I went, "Yeah, you laughed at my torch, and now you want to borrow it," because he had to go underneath something, to turn the water off, and he couldn't see what he was doing. So after making a joke about the size of my torch, he wanted to borrow it. Yeah. Oh, I know it's bad. Thankfully, we've not got any floods this way, but there's floods in Manchester, isn't there? And floods everywhere, you know. And Staley Bridge got hit by a tornado, didn't it? All ripped the roofs off. Just what you need, your roof ripped off and then a load of rain, isn't it? Start the new year off well. Yeah, thankfully, although it was bad here, it was just a few fences down and gates blown off and stuff. A lot of lost dogs. Well, they weren't lost. They'd just sort of run off because they'd let them out for a wee and that, and they didn't realise the gate was open or the yeah. Yeah, in Manchester there was like outside of Primark in Manchester, it was like a big lake. A lot of places near Manchester Airport, the road there was flooded and stuff. Thankfully, I'm not in a floody area. Well, we're not now in a floody area. Where I lived before, I always used to say if I flooded there, everybody else would be in trouble because I was on top of the hill. So if I'd have been flooded, there would have been a lot of people underwater. Tornado, it was in Manchester. It wasn't that far away, Lydia, miles-wise, but thankfully the tornado didn't really hit near here. We had very high winds, very, very high winds that damaged a lot of fence posts and stuff. People's gazebos going flying and people's, what do you call them? Them things, trampolines getting blown around, yeah. But it wasn't like too close to where I used to live. It was a few miles away. But it only lasted a couple of minutes and it just went woo, and it just ripped all these roofs off houses and things. Oh, I know. We have that trouble here. Blackpool had a lot of it. Was it last year? Where they were pumping, the sewerage was being pumped in. They kept saying as an overflow, that when the rivers got too much and the water was in the grids and stuff, it then overflowed and sewerage was going into Blackpool and the beach. Not very nice, is it? The thought of sewage when you're supposed to be a tourist area with people. Yeah, my friends that I was talking to today, her conservatory roof's made of that polycarbonate and it's leaking at every direction. Yeah, we've got a proper roof on ours because we had it built after we came here. It was a new one we had built. So we've got a proper roof on ours because we didn't want a glass roof because they're cold in the winter and they're too hot in the summer. And now it's part of my bedroom now because we've had it sort of divided off. So I'm glad it's not a glass roof, it's part of my bedroom. I know there's only the sky above, but still. Not nice to be laying in bed, is it, and looking up at looking up at a glass roof. It's bad enough having a, what do they call it, a skylight, isn't it? Looking up to a skylight. Can you imagine there, laying there, and you're punch needling, you're making a sunflower. Oh, how nice. Are you still doing your, what do you call it, diamond painting and your resin? A friend at my knit club was making, little animals and stuff with that punch thingy, felting, whatever. She kept stabbing her finger more than she stabbed the blooming. She was making a lamb, I think. I need another hobby because I'm getting a bit bored with just doing crochet, but I'm not into that. My finger ends don't pick up little things, so I can't do like, embroidery, cross stitch, or that diamond painting. I can't do little things like that. So I don't know. I used to like doing jigsaws, but leaning over like that used to do me necking, because I've got whatever. As long as you don't stab your fingers, Trev. My friend who's doing it at knit club, she keeps stabbing her fingers. Like acupuncture without. She was making a white lamb as well, so she kept stabbing herself, and so this poor little lamb kept having little stains all over it. He needed a wash. Still, yeah, I'm going to be doing one more hobby because I've got to paint that doll's house yet. Yeah, I've got to start painting that in the new year. Doing my repair jobs on my sewing machine. I'm not being a sewer. I'm not being making clothes or anything, but I've got a lot of repairs to do. And I've got a lot of trousers to turn up because I've shrunk. So I've got that to do, and I've got to paint my doll's house. That's one of my, it's not a resolution, it's an aim, goal, an aim. That's what I've got to do in the new year. Paint this flipping doll's house. And wallpaper it, and do the floor. You have to get that special paper that looks like wood floors, don't you? Or carpets or whatever. I don't quite know what I'm going to do yet. It can be bad enough trying to decorate because I'm not good. Not good with wallpaper, even on a small scale. Oh, yeah, mine won't look beautiful, I tell you. Yeah, I'll let you know, Val. I don't know what I haven't even chosen my wallpaper or anything yet, so I don't know what colour. I've got the net. I've got loads of lace I can do for my net curtains, so I'm all right with that. I've got a doll's house book. It's like what I call a coffee table book. It's really, really gorgeous. And there's little things that you can sew, for the dolls and clothes and little tablecloths and things that you can make. But they're all for more Victoriana doll's house. My doll's house is a bit more modern than that. But I just spent ages just looking at the pictures. They're not something I'm going to do, but they're really pretty, the pictures in there. Lizzie that comes on here, she's into needlepoint and needling thing. And I said to her, can you do me a picture about that big, in needlepoint for the wall? Because I've seen them in this book and they look so pretty. So she says, yeah, I'll do you one. Because, it won't cost her a fortune to post it from America, will it? It's only tiny like that. As you know, I don't ask for anything I never ask for anything really. But I know that Lizzie likes doing this cross-stitching stuff and stuff. So it's not like I'm asking her for the world, is it? And then Val's just offered me, she's got a lot of those, squares that you get for patchwork. She's got a lot of them to make me little curtains, because the curtains are only little. The windows are only that big. So the curtains are only that tiny, aren't they? But I need to do the wallpapering first before I need to know what colour my curtains are going to be. But I need to get some plastic actually to put on top of me. My doll's house is on top of a chest of drawers, and of course there's the carpet underneath it. So I need to get some of that plasticky stuff that you put so I don't splatter, because I'm a little bit messy when I'm painting. So I don't want to splatter on my new carpet or on the new chest of drawers, I don't want to do that. So I need to get some plastic to do that with. I'm a bit of a messy crafter, really, when you think about it. Bit of a mucky crafter. Kit and caboodles. No, I have watched a lot of people. May have watched Kit and Caboodles, I don't know, where they make dolls' house furniture out of bits. I mean, when I was a little girl, my dad made me most of my furniture himself. Out of cotton bobbins and stuff like that. I mean, this book I've got, this Dolly's House book, there's one of them where they make it out of a matchbox and a cotton bobbin, and it's a baby's crib, and they make it and put like lace around it and make it, into a crib thing. But I've actually got quite a bit of furniture, but it's more modern furniture rather than Victoriana, And my dolls are quite modern, so I won't be making all this, Victoriana clothes and stuff. We'll see how I get on when I start. It's my project for the new year when I eventually get around to starting it. But, I mean, the weather's been so bad, and I need to go in the shed. The shed's an absolute tip at the minute because I keep putting things in and not tidying them. But it's so dark and cold at the moment to go in the shed. It was great when I had Sue. She was fantastic at, the incentive. Let's do this, let's do that. Come on, let's go and tidy up. Let's come and do this. I mean, she used to go home with a big bag full of stuff, every time I used to be tidying out. Because as you know, I used to have absolutely 3-4 times as much wool as I do now. But Irene was having a moan to one of my friends today when I was talking to her, and he said, she's got this big shed full of absolute rubbish. He said, we could have 2 families living in there, he said, because she's got that much. He said she's got more storage than P&O. But I need to do something. I need to sort out something. I've got all that crochet I need to sort out as well. But I want daylight. I haven't got much light in there. And Irene's saying, well, I can't put your light in there because I can't get in. So it's like going round in a circle, isn't it? He can't put me a light in because he can't get in there. I can't tidy up because I can't see. It's kind of... I can take my big torch, can't I? The one he's joking about. Take my big torch in with me. It's cold in there, though. I always forget to go in half an hour before and put the heating on. If I put the heating on, then at least I could stay warm in there. And I've got me little cassette player. I could, listen to a bit of music, yeah. Yeah, I've got both of... I haven't got the... I've got Addies. I've got the small Addie and the big Addie. But I've not... In fact, I've just bought... Well, I bought them twice. I bought these little tensioner things that's supposed to keep your tension better on them. I bought one lot and the dog ate them, so this is my second lot now. But they're supposed to keep your tension better. You could probably do them on your printing machine, so that's all they are. But it's got like different tension things, for the different thicknesses, and they slot in. Because the wool on mine keeps snagging up. Mine seems to not like UK yarn, mine. Double knit's too thin, and yet Aaron's too thick. My machine likes the 4 weight, which, you can't... I don't want to buy any more yarn because if I'm using up ornaments from my shed to make things like... And I've got tons of hats, actually. I need to sort out. Mine are crochet hats, mostly. I made loads of them. When it was like COVID and I wasn't going anywhere, I just used to get odd balls and I used to crochet hats with them. I've got loads and loads of hats. This is what I need to sort out my shed. I've got loads of stuff that I need to sort myself out with. Yeah, it does. Honestly, it's American, this machine, and I know it's American because it likes American yarn. It doesn't like UK. It likes some Aran, but I have to wax it first. And it doesn't like double knit because it looks like a fishing net when I do double knit on mine. It's too flimsy, if you know what I mean. You can see right through it. And the little laddie, it doesn't even make premature baby hats. It's so small. It makes circular, like scarves and things, but that little circular machine, it just doesn't make anything big enough. It's really tiny, that little laddie. But the Centro's only got a few more needles, hasn't it, than the Addy? But I'm not buying another machine. Centro, the big Centro's got, is it 4 more stitches, 4 more needles than the... Yeah, you see, it's got, I think it's 4 more needles than mine. The Addy's only got 44 maybe, or something like that. The Centro does have those extra needles, and it does, you know, seem to make things that a bit bigger. When I make hats, they're very small, really. They're for small teenagers, really, on mine, on my Addy. They're not for men. They wouldn't fit a man. They're not stretchy enough. That's why I was disappointed with it, and that's why I haven't really used it. Because I was hoping it would make man's hats, you know, like for the homeless, but they'd have to be men with very small heads or shaved heads, you know, to wear them. So that's why I finished up crocheting them. So, finally, I've got a desk now in my bedroom annex, so I can actually, like, I've got my sewing machine on it at the moment, and I've been given a knitting machine, but I haven't got around to cleaning it yet. It needs cleaning and oiling and stuff. I haven't got round to that yet, but I will do that in the shed. I don't want that in my bedroom. You know, I don't want all the mess that you get with a knitting machine. But it'd be nice in the summer when I can get in the shed and it's daylight and I can see what I'm doing. So I'll get it all cleaned up then. Because I'd rather use a proper knitting machine, you know what I call. It's one of my 24 aims, you're right there, it is. I've got to do a video, 24 goals for 2024. I've been challenged to do it by Tracy from Crochet Rocks. But it's so dark out there and cold at the moment, Val. That's why I haven't been out there to do it. It's on the list. I've got a little list. I've got a little list. And there'll none of them be missed. My brother used to sing that in the Lord High Executioner. It was from the Pirates of Penzance, I think. He had a nice voice, my brother. He was always in the operettas at school, you know, by the Gilbert and Sullivan operettas. He had a nice voice. Obviously, he never went on to do anything to be a singer or anything because he was a university lecturer. So he didn't used to sing to his students, yeah. But he used to sing around the house and he did have a nice voice. How many siblings? I've just got the one. Well, sadly, I don't even have him now because he died he died the same day as my dog. I think it's about 8 years ago now. What did he teach? When he was a teacher, it was modern history and politics. But he went on to be a university lecturer, but he went into administration, so he was more in charge of the funding and the financing and everything, and he didn't really teach after that. But his chosen was modern history and politics. He was the clever one of the family. He wasn't the dumbo like me. Me who didn't even pass history. No chance of me passing history. It's funny, when I was at school, I was not interested in history in the slightest. Not at all. And yet, as I've got older, I am more interested in it, but not in the history that they taught at school. You know, the kings and the queens and all that rubbish. I'm more interested in what they call like industrial history. You know, about the cotton mills and the history of. Oh, I get adverts. I can't do anything about them. They won't let you. Um, they won't let you stop them. They're just on. Yeah, it annoys me. There's nothing I can do about them, Trevor. You've just got to accept them, and they won't let you change them. I wouldn't mind if I got paid. I think I worked out I get 8p for doing a live. Not like Sheila, who gets what, £300 a month on hers. I get £60 every 3 months. Yeah, I think I worked out I got 8p for doing a 3 hour live. Hey, big spender. It's a good job I'm not doing it as a living, isn't it? I'd be starving by now. I've never worked out how they work out the finances on these things. You get the taxman. Taxman is not interested in my money. I rang them up, you know, when I started my business, and years back, and I told them how much I made, you know, when I make them sell a jumper or something like that, how much I made, and they sort of laughed at me. And he said, "You'll never get there, love. You need to sell about 2 or 3 jumpers a week to get into that." No, I get about 60 quid every 3 months from YouTube. So I don't know how these people get £300 a month. I don't know. Taxman will never be after me, that's for sure. Now they're starting going after people who sell things on Vinted, aren't they now, and all that? But it's like my mate was saying. She said, if you're selling things on Vinted and they're second hand, you're selling them for less than what you bought them for. So therefore, you haven't got any profit, have you? So how can they say they're going to charge you on what, you know? Because if you're selling a coat on there for 20 quid that you paid 50 for it, you're not making any profit, are you? You're making a £30 loss. You know, so how can the taxman be after you? I'm just ruddy useless, Trevor, at anything like that. I'm just not with it at all. I'm not with all this modern stuff. I'm not with all this TikTok and stuff. I'm just not. Yeah. I don't like doing patrons because I don't have anything to offer. You know, to me, if you're doing a patron thing, you've got to say, oh, I'm doing this for my Patreon viewers. You can have a free pattern or something like that. You can have this. I never have anything like that. So I wouldn't feel right, you know, saying to people, you know, do you want to be in, you know, my gang and pay me £1 every month or something like that? I wouldn't want, I just don't see it that way, you know. Maybe it's just me. I'm just not that way inclined, you know, that are asking for money for nothing, if you know what I mean. Because I don't feel as though I would contribute anything for their money. Up to £48 a month. I mean, who the heck would want to pay me £48 a month just to hear me witter on, you know? I can understand it if I, like, said, I'm making this crochet pattern, and if you're a Patreon, you can have it for free or something like that. But I don't do anything like that. So turn my gifts on. I suppose I should, but I just don't know why. It just kind of feels like begging to me. This is why I've never turned the gifts on. You know, I mean, people maybe pay me £1 here and there. I mean, I used to have that coffee, and people occasionally used to buy me a coffee. I think I used to get about £3 a month, you know, for that. But I've just never done it. I don't know why. It's just in my upbringing that I don't kind of, like some people are always begging for everything, aren't they? Oh, I would dearly love this or I would dearly love that. So some idiot goes and buys it for them. I've never been good at that sort of thing. I've always been like, oh, no, no, no. It's begging. And I just don't like doing it. Maybe it's the way I was brought up. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe I should be more self-assertive. Maybe that's one of my aims and my goals. Be more self-confident, Janet. Be more whatever. And I just never bothered with it with the coffee thing, actually, Munchkin. I think I got about one coffee a month, so I just didn't bother anymore. I used to put the link every week faithfully underneath all my videos, and nobody ever bought me a coffee. Well, that one person did, I think. I think it was £3 or something to buy me a coffee. So I didn't bother with it anymore. I just stopped doing it. As I said, I'm very bad at asking for things. I'm never one to. You see somebody's videos, don't they? And they're going, "Oh, I dearly love a sewing machine, but I can't afford one," and blah, de, blah, de, blah. And then somebody sends them money or buys them a sewing machine and stuff. And you see, I've never done TikTok, Trevor. I wouldn't know where to start. I need you sat by my side to tell me what to do. Because I'm no good when people tell me things over the phone or tell me things. I might do, because I was thinking of starting up the Ko-fi to maybe sell a few bits and bats, like my hats and things like that. Maybe if I put them on Ko-fi. I know Denise does. Denise sells her stitch markers and things like that, doesn't she? Um, small items, yeah. Maybe. I'm very bad at this sort of thing, Trev. I'm just no good at, what they call it, self-marketing or whatever it is, being more assertive about my talents. Um, I'm always too, what's it called, self-effacing, whatever it is. When people say, "Oh, that's gorgeous, that's beautiful," I'm going, well, and I can't take, yeah, I probably maybe if I showed things that I had. It's just launching myself off. I'm just bad at. When I actually do start doing something, I'm fine. It's just, oh, the starting of things. I mean, you're a lot younger than me, Trevor, so you've got more incentive to do this sort of thing, whereas I'm a bit of an old fogey. I don't know how to do these things, and so yeah, I am very much like that, Chris. Very, very. If people say, "Oh, that's gorgeous, that's lovely," and I'm like, "Is it?" It's only, I've only just done this, and I don't self-defecate. Yeah, that's me. I'm that as well. I don't take compliments at all. I've never been good at that. Yeah, I've never been good at saying, like, I watch people doing something and they go, "Look at this gorgeous sweater I've just made. Isn't it fabulous?" But I don't like it when they say she. Isn't this lovely sweater? She is lovely. She is this. And I'm like, it's a sweater. It's not a she. Stop saying it's a she. But they're saying this. It's gorgeous. It's fantastic. Look how fabulous this is. And like my mum's in my head saying, "Stop it. Stop it. Stop blowing your own trumpet. Stop it. There's nothing fabulous about it, Janet. Stop it." So I cannot do that. I can't hold things up. And I say, "Oh, just made this. This is me. Just made this." And people say, "Oh, that's nice." I say, "Thank you." But I don't go, "Fantastic, gorgeous, isn't it wonderful, isn't it lovely?" I don't do that. I can't do it. I cannot blow my own trumpet. My mother's in my head going, "Stop it, stop it." Yeah. Yeah, I can't take compliments very well. When I was younger and somebody used to say, "Oh, you're very pretty," and I go, I'd be looking to see who they were talking to. Yeah, people say that to me. Oh, you're very creative, or you're very this, or very that. And I cannot take compliments. I find it very hard to say, oh, thank you. You've got this is lovely, or you've got that nice, or something. And I'm like, cringing inside, going, oh, thank you. Thinking, I wish you wouldn't say things like that to me. Makes me embarrassed. I just found out that Plymouth Fury is a car, isn't it? I never knew that until Jane. That Plymouth Fury was a car. Probably because I'm not American. Yeah. Yeah, so one of my goals this year is to be more assertive, yeah. Be more whatever. Stop being so self not defecating. self I can't even say it. Deprecating, yeah. There's certain words I can't say, that's one of them. I'll have to stop it. I'll have to start saying, you are fantastic, you are gorgeous. Look in the mirror every day and think, my God, you're gorgeous today. Yeah. I've not watched The Crown, so I can't tell you. I find it difficult looking at actors who are supposed to be like the Queen or Prince Philip or Charles when they don't look anything like them. I find it difficult to relate to, like, this is the Queen. No, it don't look anything like the Queen. I just find it difficult to do that. And it's not a real story, which people think it is. It's like their version of the truth, yeah. People say, oh, it said that on The Crown, but it's not true. It's a fiction. They say it. They admit it's a fiction. It's loosely based on the royal family. Mm. But I mean, the ones that they have, like for Charles and that, they don't look anything like him. I'm sure, with all the makeup and stuff that they do and all this fake rubber faces and ears and stuff, they could get one that looked a bit more like Prince Charles. So I can't watch it because to me it's not right. When they have like Diana, it don't look anything like Diana. Oh, I don't think they dare with all the latest stuff that's going on. I don't think they dare carry on. She'd be having a fit, wouldn't she? Miss Third-Rate Hollywood star, allegedly speaking, yeah. She'd be having a fit. She'd want to be in it and want it to be dead on, spot on, and have her say, because she wants to have her say. So I don't think they dare carry on at the moment, yeah. Because she wants to have her say, whether anybody wants to listen to her or not, that's not the point. She drones on and on. Like anybody cares. Yeah, I'll let you know, Trevor, if this tension thing works, and then you can do some 3D printing and make yourself one. Oh, so they say. We only know what they tell us, don't we? I thought it was Harry that didn't like Camilla, but maybe I'm wrong. But then poor little put on Harry, who only had 4 sausages when William got 5. I mean, that is so terrible. The trauma that he's never recovered from. Give over, get lost. My big brother always got more of the Mars bar than I did, but I'm not traumatized, am I? It's the way it is with families, isn't it? He says he wants an apology. What for? Probably the cook that dished up the sausages, not William. Christine is named after the car. Yeah. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. I think I'll write my memoir. Nobody will buy it, but I'll write it anyway. Oh, God. The things that are coming out, that are they true? Are they not? Are they just a load of rubbish? I've stopped reading about them now. Stopped watching them. Well, that's what he's saying. He wants an apology because he only got 4 sausages instead of 5. Come off it. Maybe there was only 9 sausages. What did he want? 4.5. Probably the cook that dished it up, not him. If he wrote that book himself, I'm a Dutchman. He might have dictated it in bits and pieces onto it. He never wrote nothing. Probably can't even write, knowing him. I shall write my memoir, but it will be me who's written it. Nobody will buy it, but I will write it, and it will be truthful, and it will be factual. And I won't be calling my brother because he got a bit more of a Mars bar than I did. Yeah. It happened in lots of families, you know, if it was if it's true. If it's true, Trevor, we do not know. They're not likely to contradict it, are they? It's something that you say, isn't it? I mean, I believe Harry just said he wondered if it'd have red hair like him. You know, it's just all got blown out of all proportion. Everybody that's got a mixed race family says the same thing. I wonder if the baby will be dark like you or pale like me. It's something that they all say. I've got plenty of friends who've got mixed relationships, and they have all said that is a question that everybody's asked them, and they've never taken offence because they don't know whether it's going to be pale or dark. You know? Don't know if it's going to have red hair, green hair, ginger hair. Yeah. It's not a racist comment, it's just a curiosity. People are curious. Well, Scooby Doo. Well, he's been fed stuff on his Scooby Doo, and we all know where that's come from, don't we? And yet they're having nothing to do with him now, so obviously it's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. The book's flopped, so therefore we don't want anything to do with it. You do wonder. It's a question. I mean, you can have a woman with dark hair and her husband's blonde, and you wonder whether the kid's going to be blonde or whether it's going to be dark hair. My friend had 5 babies. She was olive skin, dark hair, and her husband was a blue-eyed blonde. And every one of her 5 babies looks like her husband. And every time a baby was born, she used to ring me up and tell me she'd got a little girl, little boy, whatever. I used to say, have you got a Linda this time? And she kept saying, no, it's another Hugh. Because every one of them took after her husband, blue-eyed, blonde. And we used to laugh about it. And she used to say, oh, I've got another Hugh, another blonde. But it wasn't any kind of a comment. It was just like, have you got one that looks like you this time, Linda? You know, have you got a dark-haired one? No, no. It's a comment that you make. I think somebody did. She's just denying all knowledge of it. She's just trying to pretend she knew nothing about it, and yet all her friends are saying she did a bloody in-depth search before she married him. I don't believe she didn't know anything about the family. Yeah. She's just a narcissist that wants everything her way. She just thought she was going to be like the Queen, didn't she? You know, I call him Scooby-Doo, whatever he's called. Apparently he's gone into hiding now, hasn't he? Yeah, but you're bound to find out about the person you're going to marry. I'm sorry, but you do. You know what you're marrying into. You're not that daft. Then to say, oh, I didn't know, give over, Mrs. Because you knew. It was the most publicised family in the whole wide world. So to say you didn't know, you must have had your head under a brick or something like that. I'm eating chocolates and I shouldn't be. Is it too late for me to find a millionaire? Too late for me to find a prince? I've kissed all the frogs. It's time I got a prince now. If my prince is coming, he's taking a long way around. I think he's got lost. He didn't take a shortcut, that's for sure. I tell you, if William takes over, Harry will be on his way out. He won't have nothing to do with Harry, I'll tell you. It'll be like, who are you? Buzz off. He will be cut off without the proverbial shilling then, if William gets there. Yeah, you're right there. We've all lost prints in the post. It's always the ones of your holiday that you're really waiting for that they lose, isn't it? I once got a complete different family's photographs back, and you used to send them away to be developed. I got a whole lot of photographs of some of the family. Mine didn't come. I don't know where mine went. I mean, I did send them back because I thought, I don't want to keep these. Somebody's obviously missing these. There was about 2 or 3 bundles of this other family. So God knows where mine went to. I do hope this family got theirs, yeah. You got a completely different family. I did, yeah. I got completely different sets of photographs. Never got mine. Don't know where mine went. I stopped sending them off after that. I used to take them to the chemist, even though it was dearer, yeah. Someday your prince, my prince has got lost on the way. He never found his way. I must have moved house or something because he never found his way to me. I don't think I would have wanted a prince, though. I would have liked somebody with a bit more money. That would have been nice. Like Mills and Boone, where the woman always finds this millionaire who happens to be floating about and happens to be single and free, yeah. As if. When I used to go on holiday, I never found anybody that used to come to my rescue who had lots of money and wanted to buy me clothes and a car and everything. Oh, yes. As if, yeah. You tried kissing them. I've kissed all the frogs. I've kissed all the frogs, Trev. That's all I ever used to get, the frogs. Yeah, we all want somebody with a bit more money, don't we, Munchkin? I should have been looking where I was looking when I looked for my husband. Well, I didn't look for him, but I should have looked for one with a bit more money. My mum used to say that to me, and she used to say, I used to date guys who had loads of money and stuff like that. And I used to say, but I don't love them, Mum. And she used to say, you should marry for money and love will come later. And I married for love and look where it got me. Yeah. I should have done what she said, married for money and love might come later. Instead of allegedly marrying for money and getting a pauper. Mm. Hey, I'm happily single now. I wouldn't want, well, at my time of life, who the hell wants me? You know, I'm too old for a toy boy, and there's not many men my age anyway that still got their own teeth and breathing, yeah. I've been single now since I got divorced, really. I've had boyfriends, but nothing really that stuck. Yeah, a companion would be nice, male or female, I'm not bothered. It just would be nice to go on holiday with, yeah. And I always get the ones who want, yeah, you know what I mean? Want that, nothing else, no romance, no nothing. They just want that. And I'm not bothered about that anymore, so they can just all buzz off. Yeah, you're right there. At my time of life, companionship, yeah. The rest of it, you can keep it, yeah. Past all that sort of stuff. Well, it's midnight, so this little Cinderella is going to put down her crochet and try and get some sleep. I'm not doing very well. Oh, I don't write nothing about her, Lydia, because I'm not that interested in her, to be quite honest. And I think keep writing about her and keep bringing her in the news is just fanning the flames. Just ignore her and just let it. If everybody ignored her, she'd just go away, wouldn't she? We keep mentioning her and bringing her up and talking about her in the newspaper. That's what she wants, isn't she? She wants fame and recognition. If everybody thought, right, that's enough, sod her, then she'd be a nobody and a nothing, which is what they said they wanted. Yeah, I'm off to bed, and I hope the bed bugs don't bite me. Yeah. Well, I think she'll get fed up with him. He's not exactly the brightest candle, is he? Right. Yeah, they're nothing to me either, Chris. Couldn't care less what they do with their time. Right, night night, everybody, and I'll see you all next week. And I'm going to make a video about my 24 goals for 2024. So if anybody else wants to make a video, feel free. Feel free. I nominate you. I nominate everybody who makes a video. I nominate Jill if she's around still. Not many people on here actually make videos, do they? Right, night, Val. Hopefully I'll see you Wednesday if we are meeting Wednesday. I don't know whether we are or we aren't. I'm confused now. First we were, then we're not, then we are. So I don't want to go there on my own and be sitting outside the hut and there being nobody there. So I'm hoping that Sue will let me know if there is one or not. Talking about knit club, by the way. Not knit as in scratch, scratch, knit as in knit, knit. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to bed now, so all have a nice time, and I shall see you all very, very soon. So, bye now. Oh, you're in Yorkshire, so you won't be there, right? Okay. You're at your sister's, are you? Okie dokie. Right, thank you all for your company, and I shall speak to you all very, very soon. So, bye for now. Bye, bye, bye.